Live television is unforgiving. No retakes, no safety nets, just the raw, unfiltered truth, beamed to millions. Over the years, talk shows have given us laughs, tears, and moments so shocking they became burned into pop culture forever. From Tom Cruise's infamous couch jump on Oprah to Charlie Sheen's tiger blood tirades, these weren't movie scripts. They were real, unpredictable, and caught on camera. Today we're diving into 15 celebrity moments where the lights were hot, the pressure was higher, and the world watched every second unfold. Tom Cruise. For years, Cruise had cultivated an image of untouchable, laser-focused professionalism. But on May 23, 2005, that all came undone on Oprah Winfrey's stage in what can only be described as a bizarre and manic public spectacle. Appearing to promote War of the Worlds, the interview quickly veered off the rails as Cruise, high on his new romance with actress Katie Holmes, began to unravel. The energy in the room shifted from a standard celebrity chat to a display of unnerving, frenetic behavior. He was laughing manically, dropping to one knee, pumping his fists, and grabbing Oprah's hands with a startling intensity. The host herself seemed taken aback, asking him, "What has happened to you?"
Something happened to you! Something happened to you!
The infamous climax, of course, was the couch jump. In a moment of what he later called delightful exuberance, but what the world saw as a complete break from reality, he leaped onto Oprah's sofa, striking a triumphant pose. The bizarre Oprah appearance was followed by a disastrously aggressive interview on the Today Show, where Cruise condescendingly berated host Matt Lauer about psychiatry, calling it a pseudoscience.
So that's what it's like with Steven and I, you know?
The combined weight of these public meltdowns was too much. Charlie Sheen. In early 2011, Charlie Sheen was the highest-paid actor on television, the star of the massively successful sitcom 2.5 Men. But after a series of public feuds and struggles with substance abuse, his erratic behavior culminated in one of the most bizarre and public psychotic breaks in television history. Following a temporary production halt on his show, Sheen embarked on a media blitz, giving a series of interviews that became instant viral sensations for all the wrong reasons. In a now infamous interview with Good Morning America, a manic and defiant Sheen delivered a string of strange and nonsensical pronouncements. When asked about his state of mind, he famously declared, "I'm by winning. I win here, and I win there." The bizarre rant continued as he coined a series of catchphrases that would be endlessly parodied, claiming he had tiger blood and Adonis DNA. He dismissed any suggestion that he was unwell, telling one interviewer that he was on a drug called Charlie Sheen. The actor's increasingly unhinged behavior was viewed by the public not as a joke, but as a deeply troubling psychotic break unfolding in real time. The fallout was swift and absolute. Sheen's bizarre and confrontational interviews led to him being fired from 2.5 Men. The series of chaotic on-air appearances completely derailed his career, forever changing the public's perception of him from a beloved sitcom star to a cautionary tale of celebrity meltdown. Joaquin Phoenix. This was the interview that made everyone ask, "What is wrong with Joaquin Phoenix?" In 2009, the acclaimed multiple Oscar-nominated actor walked onto The Late Show with David Letterman looking like he'd given up. Huge, unkempt beard, dark sunglasses, vacant stare. What followed was excruciating. Phoenix chewed gum, mumbled near monosyllables, dodged questions, and offered fragments that baffled the host.
I can't be the first one to make you feel weird about it.
No, I guess not.
Letterman finally leaned into mockery, quipping, "What can you tell us about your days with the Unabomber?" The weirdness peaked when Phoenix announced he was quitting acting to become a hip-hop artist. Reaction was swift and brutal. Viewers and media concluded they'd witnessed a genuine public breakdown, and industry interest cooled. Producers stayed away, and the scripts got worse. A year later, the 2010 mockumentary I'm Still Here revealed the truth. The meltdown was performance art. Fascinating, yes, but expensive. The stunt stained his image and took several daring, critically praised roles to repair before audiences fully separated the bit from the man and remembered why his work matters to them once again.
Kanye West. This wasn't a controlled studio interview.
It was a chaotic, self-inflicted public immolation inside a working newsroom. In May 2018, Kanye West, already mired in controversy for backing Donald Trump, walked into TMZ and delivered one of the most damaging appearances of his career. Surrounded by staffers, he launched into a rambling monologue about opioids, plastic surgery, and free thought.
I was addicted to opioids. I had plastic surgery because I was trying to look good for y'all.
Then came the line that froze the room and defined the moment. When you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice.
This reality has been forced upon us. It is a choice, just like when I said slavery is a choice.
Shock was immediate. TMZ producer Van Lathan stood and confronted him, voicing the pain of such rhetoric. While Kanye lived as a celebrated artist, others faced the ongoing consequences of oppression. Frankly, I'm disappointed and unbelievably hurt, Lathan said. Backlash exploded worldwide. Kanye tried to clarify on Twitter that he meant mental slavery, but the damage stuck. The TMZ rant became a point of no return, recasting his provocations as something far darker and cementing a chapter his reputation has never fully recovered from. Wendy Williams. This wasn't a typical interview, but a frightening moment when the host became the story. On Halloween morning 2017, Wendy Williams was hosting her live talk show in a heavy Statue of Liberty costume. Mid-sentence, her demeanor shifted, eyes wide with panic, words slurring, a stagger backward, and then she collapsed on air. The broadcast cut instantly to commercials as crew rushed in, leaving millions stunned, wondering if they'd just seen a stroke or a complete on-air breakdown. When the show returned, Williams, back on her feet, told viewers, "That was not a stunt. I'm overheated in my costume, and I did pass out." Her team later blamed dehydration. Initially treated as a one-off accident, the incident soon read as a public glimpse into serious, ongoing health struggles. It was later linked to her Graves' disease, an autoimmune condition that can cause fatigue, dizziness, and fainting. The collapse became a turning point, forcing her to address her health and prompting the show's first-ever 3-week hiatus and a very public reckoning afterward. R. Kelly. In 2019, R. Kelly's sit-down with Gayle King on CBS This Morning became the moment his public unraveling played out in real time. It was his first major chance to answer the mounting sexual abuse allegations spotlighted by surviving R. Kelly. Instead of a measured defense, he delivered an explosive, erratic performance. As King calmly pressed him,
"What? How stupid would I be to do that?
I didn't say you
That's
were holding...
stupid, guys.
I didn't...
Is this camera on me?
Yes, it's on.
That's stupid. Use your common sense."
Kelly grew agitated and tearful, interrupting questions and lurching between denial and self-pity. The breaking point came when he sprang from his chair, loomed over the unflappable host, and shouted directly at the camera, "I'm fighting for my F in life."
Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my career.
Robert.
30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me.
He pounded his chest, insisted he was the victim, and accused critics of trying to kill him. The reaction was swift and overwhelmingly negative. Rather than generating sympathy, the spectacle read as the desperate, rambling outburst of a guilty man.
This is not about music. I'm trying to have a relationship with my kids, and I can't do it. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
The clip went instantly viral, spawned parodies, and hardened public belief in the accusations around the world online. It salvaged nothing. Instead, it functioned as a disturbing prelude to his later conviction and imprisonment. Madonna. A 1995 ABC primetime live interview offers an unsettling window into Mel Gibson long before his infamous public meltdowns at a pivotal public moment in his career. Sitting with Diane Sawyer, he discussed his career, faith, and his polarizing views. The most damaging moments came when Sawyer pressed him on a history of homophobic and anti-Semitic remarks, Notably, a 1991 El País interview where he made crude comments about gay people. Confronted, Gibson was defiant and unapologetic, snapping, "I'll apologize when hell freezes over. They can off." The segment became a stark, unfiltered look at his prejudices. Though it didn't derail his career, he won 2 Oscars for Braveheart that year. It planted seeds for a wider reckoning.
Athlete's foot. I'm serious. No, urine is like an antiseptic. It's all got to do with the enzymes in your body.
The arrogance and unrepentant bigotry on display foreshadowed the eruptions to come, including later rants and spirals that turned him from bankable star to industry pariah. In hindsight, the interview reads like a blueprint, a candid, defensive Gibson telegraphing exactly how controversies around him would escalate and how the culture would eventually respond. Farah Fawcett. In 1997, Farah Fawcett, beloved icon and one of the world's most famous women, appeared on The Late Show with David Letterman in what became one of late night's most talked about, very unsettling moments. From her entrance, something felt off. Fawcett was erratic, giggly, and seemingly unable to form coherent thoughts. She dodged questions and launched into long, meandering stories with no clear beginning or end. At one point, she fixated on the skyline backdrop, appeared to treat it as real, and told a strange tale about being chased through Central Park during a St. Patrick's Day parade.
All of a sudden, they're completely drunk, blotto. They start chasing me down, literally chasing.
Yeah, the Irish people, is that who it is?
I think so. I think so.
Letterman, visibly uncomfortable, tried to steer the interview, joking, "What is in your coffee?" The segment dragged for nearly 20 minutes, leaving the audience deeply bewildered. Fallout was immediate. Media outlets replayed the clip endlessly, speculating about drugs or serious mental illness. Though Fawcett later insisted she wasn't on drugs and was simply trying to be funny, the appearance cast a lasting shadow over her career and became an infamous, tragic part of her legacy. Paula Abdul. Less interview than unraveling, Paula Abdul's 2007 press tour became a bizarre live TV spectacle that stunned viewers. At the height of her renewed fame as American Idol's beloved, eccentric judge, she sat for a string of satellite interviews meant to promote the new season. From the first questions, something seemed off. Abdul swayed in her chair, slurred words, and offered rambling, incoherent answers, punctuated by odd laughter. Confused anchors cut segments short, unsure what they were seeing. Millions watched in disbelief, live, nationwide. The clips spread instantly, and the public verdict was harsh.
Has redeemed themselves because Seattle was the all-time woo!
Abdul looked intoxicated or in the midst of a genuine on-air breakdown. Late-night shows mocked the footage. Tabloids and news programs speculated about her health. Her team tried to soften the narrative, blaming technical glitches and exhaustion, but the damage stuck. The moment cemented a perception of instability that shadowed her every appearance. 2 years later, after a high-profile salary dispute, she exited American Idol. The interviews remained a defining stain, an infamous episode that overshadowed her achievements and turned a routine promo circuit into a lasting PR disaster. Courtney Love. Courtney Love crashes Madonna's post-show MTV VMAs 1995. Post-show balcony, cameras rolling. Then, thunk, a makeup compact flies into frame. Madonna is mid-chat with MTV's Kurt Loder when he clocks the culprit below. Courtney Love. Courtney Love is in dire need of attention right now. Madonna deadpans. Loder waves her up, and the vibe flips from polished to powder keg in seconds. Love stumbles into a rambling off-the-wall monologue about the music biz like a hospital, shoe one-upmanship, mine are Gucci, Madonna parries, and a zinger about available drugs. It's messy, weirdly magnetic, and instantly iconic. One of those moments where a talk show-style meltdown happens without a couch. Madonna gets whisked away. Loder is left with Courtney, and a 1,000-yard stare. Clip saved to history. Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson unloads on a CP24 anchor, Toronto 2014, daytime live hit. Tyson's plugging his one-man show when CP24 host Nathan Downer pivots, mentions Tyson's rape conviction while asking if his visit with Mayor Rob Ford could hurt the campaign. The air goes ice cold and then burns. Tyson snaps, calls the anchor a piece of S, repeats it, and barrels through the segment while producers scramble. The interview keeps rolling long enough for multiple expletives before it finally ends. So wild, the Canadian Broadcast Standards Council later ruled CP24 should have cut the feed the moment the language started. A textbook on-air rupture, calm promo, flashpoint question, profanity storm, ethics ruling. Alex Jones. Alex Jones melts down on Piers Morgan Live. CNN, January 7, 2013. Promo chat turns powder keg. Jones, fresh off launching a petition to deport Piers Morgan over gun control comments, sits down and instantly goes thermonuclear. He drowns out questions, machine gun stats, taunts Morgan, "Do you have a bodyguard?" and finally detonates with the viral line, "1776 will commence again if you try to take our firearms." Producers hang on as the segment spirals. By week's end, the White House cites the First Amendment in an official response to the deportation petition. A textbook live TV rupture. Host tries for a debate. Guest delivers a rally speech at max volume. Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey wheels in an ice cream cart on TRL, MTV 2001. Daytime chaos in Times Square. Mariah rolls onto Total Request Live, pushing an ice cream cart, oversized Loverboy tee on, handing out popsicles mid-show. Carson Daly looks blindsided. She peels off the tee to a tank and shorts, riffs to camera, and drops the instantly memed line to Carson. "You're my therapy session right now." It feels like a promo stunt colliding with live TV's guardrails. Awkward, irresistible, and impossible to look away. In the days after, headlines call it a breakdown. She's hospitalized for exhaustion, and release plans shift. Years later, she reframes it as a stunt gone awry, and in 2018 reveals she was first diagnosed with bipolar 2 back in 2001, recasting how people remember that summer. Russell Brand. Russell Brand takes over Morning Joe, MSNBC, 2013. Soft promo turns cage match. The panel fixates on Brand's accent and riffs about him in the third person. He snaps the room back to him. "You're talking about me as if I'm not here, as if I'm an extraterrestrial." Then he flips host mode on, addressing the people of America, mock introducing the anchors, and needling, "Is this what you all do for a living?" When someone calls him Willie, he lectures basic manners and the segment fully derails. It's a live TV hijack. Guest becomes broadcaster while the actual broadcasters squirm. Andy Dick. Andy Dick gets dragged off Jimmy Kimmel Live, February 2007. Promo chat derails in seconds. Sitting beside Ivanka Trump, Dick reaches over and starts rubbing her leg. "You don't play up the glitter on your legs?" As Ivanka swats his hand away and Kimmel jumps in. "Andy, don't. Please don't touch Ivanka. Donald Trump will kill both of us." When he keeps at it, security storms the set. Kimmel literally grabs Dick by the ankles and helps haul him off. It's the kind of live TV rupture that becomes legend on replay. Boundary crossed, host intervenes, guest removed. Clip saved to internet history. And there you have it. 15 talk show moments that proved anything can happen when the cameras are rolling. Some were funny, some were uncomfortable, and some were downright unforgettable. Which one shocked you the most? Tell us in the comments. And if you love this dive into live TV's most unpredictable moments, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because you never know what incredible story we'll uncover next.